Hello, entrepreneurs. Welcome to another episode of Entrepreneur Fundamentals. My name is Robert Bitto. The title of this video does not refer to me. I'm not Jewish, and I hope you don't think that I'm old. I'm close to 50, but I feel like I'm 13. I feel like a 13-year-old boy with resources. But anyway, back to my title. I had a store in Phoenix, retail store number 3, and I was located next door to this really supercharged vitamin/health food store run by an old Jewish man well into his 80s. His name was Herb Markowitz, and he founded that business from nothing. He had founded several other businesses before that, and he loved commerce, he loved business, he loved having a store, he loved being a shopkeep. I love being a shopkeep too, but it wasn't feasible for me to continue in my business and in my situation. So I eventually closed my shop. But those years next to Herb, those were some very interesting times. He would come into my store whenever I had a lull, which was quite often. I didn't have a high traffic store like he did. He would come in and he would talk to me, and I hung on every word. Anything he said, I just took it all in, because this man had 60 years experience in business. Okay, he wasn't a 22-year-old offering business coaching and PDF downloads on the internet. This guy knew something about business. It was amazing. He would come in, and one of his biggest concerns with me was he would say, and this is not to make fun or anything, but he would say, "Robert, I'm worried about you. You have no customers." Well, I would then point to the computer and tell him, most of my business is now coming from online sales. And then he would ask me, "Well, then what the heck do you have a store for?" And I would tell him, "Yeah, I ask myself the same thing." But he would come in and we would talk, and I would pick his brain, and we would chit-chat back and forth and everything. And he was so well grounded in what I talk about on this channel, the fundamentals of business. He would come in and he would criticize me, and I told him, he was like, "I hope you don't mind that I say these things to you, Robert." I say, no, please tell me more. I wish you could hang out with me for most of the afternoon. But he would come in with his little hints like, "You need to clean the glass on your front window. You need to have a regular person." Things that you wouldn't really think about. What he emphasized and what you saw in his store he emphasized the details. And that was one of the biggest things that I learned from Herb, was pay attention to the details. He would come in sometimes and say, "You're not wearing a pressed shirt." I thought he would come up to me and button up the top button of my shirt too. But, I kind of had, up until that time that he had said that to me, I was thinking, yeah, I could wear whatever I want. I'm the boss. Hey, I can wear a propeller hat to work if I want to, right? But no. He said, wear pressed shirts, wear pressed pants, make sure your store is impeccably clean and impeccably organized all the time. Customers, really look at that sort of thing. He gave me a long list of things over the course of the years that I was next to his store, and they were all valuable. And I took note on all of that stuff that he said. And my whole thing is, I won't go into more stories with this guy, but my whole point is, listen to the older people. They've been around a long time and they know. Okay, fine, Instagram is doing this funky little thing where you might get more views and you might get more customers. But the basics never change. People want cheap stuff, fast stuff. They want you to make their lives easier. They want you to solve their problems, essentially. And you hear that a lot. But what I learned from Herb is you have to pay attention to all of these little details first, have a solid grounding in your business first. And I hear that from all these other people too who have been in the game for a lot longer than me. And I've been in for a long time myself. And there's always something to learn. But listen to an old guy is basically what I'm saying here. Now, there's one thing that Herb said to me that I've been puzzling with for years now. He said there's no such thing as customer loyalty. Everything's predicated on that, it seems like, though, when you're trying to attract customers. But he knew. He knew what he was talking about. So I guess he was frustrated with a lot of people who he would see for a long time and then they drop off the radar. And, I see that too. That happens, I think, in every business. One last thing, one funny memory I had with Herb was I said, "What is your secret to having lines out the door?" Saturday mornings, the parking lot was packed. People, had to park around the corner and everything. And there were lines in the registers and everything. I said, "What is your big secret?" And he said, "Radio." Like it was 1930 again. But he found what worked for him. And that was one of his secrets to success. He told me people were trapped in their cars in their commute and they're listening to the radio, so why not get on the Dr. Bob show and talk about vitamin supplements? And that worked for him. But he did a combination of things that worked for him. But mostly everything was predicated on the basics. And that's what we all should do. And we should all listen to our elders. That's about all I have to say on this. Thank you once again for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble a little bit about that. Until next time, remember to work hard, and may all of your entrepreneurial dreams come true.